Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And in this episode, we're going to be talking all about Stand By Me, one of the best movies ever made, in the opinion of some people. But before we get to that, it's time for my favourite segment, Catching Up with Jack and Liam. So, how's it going, Jack?
Oh, I'm going pretty well, mate. You?
Yeah.
That was not a convincing yeah.
I've been busy, Jack, and not in a fun, I'm busy because I'm doing lots of really exciting things sort of way.
You're busy because you moved.
I moved, and we're in that annoying stage now where loads of things are in boxes. Even to do this show, right, I like to have a little notepad next to me, and I like to just make a little rough outline of what we're going to talk about, because, believe it or not, we do a little bit of preparation for these shows.
Well, I don't. It's like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, I mean, it might not sound like it, but there is a little bit. Couldn't find a notepad, and then I couldn't find a pen. So it's that stage of the moving process.
I mean, if that was your example of how terrible your life is at the moment, Liam, that's pretty low down on the discomfort scale. I couldn't find a notepad or a pen.
I also didn't know where my microphone was, so I had to find that.
See, that's major. That's important.
Yeah, I found that. The thing is, we moved, and then I got my TV set up, I got my Blu-ray player set up, I got my PlayStation set up, and I was like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Those are the essentials.
Yeah, exactly. So now I think there's probably 30 or so boxes that need to be unpacked, and maybe 20 of those are DVDs.
You have too many DVDs.
Yeah, I know, people keep telling me this, and it's annoying.
I mean, you keep saying it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how to fix it, Jack.
I thought you were thinking of selling some.
I don't know.
That sounds like some sort of delaying tactic there. It's just, so long as I don't deal with this problem, I can pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
So we're now in a new house that is a little bit smaller than my old house and is more expensive, so I'm not exactly pleased about it.
Are you closer to, a city or anything?
Yeah, a little bit, but, give a shit.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out why it's more expensive.
Right?
But
Get
smaller.
this, though. Get this. Yeah, all right, closer to a city. But where I used to be, literally a 3-minute walk around the corner, Tesco Express, bam, sorted. I could get my lunch every day from there. And hey, guess what, Jack? Guess what? If they didn't have lunch for Liam, right, at Tesco Express, not a big deal. Another 5-minute walk, I could be at a Co-op. If I can't find lunch between Co-op and Tesco Express, there's something wrong with me, okay? So I was always happy and sorted, right? Now, 3-minute walk from me, all I have is a fucking WH Smith local. Didn't even know that was a thing, right?
Yeah, they do little shops. I've seen them.
Yeah, pretty shit. And then there's another, I don't know what it's called, a Premier supermarket or something, but it's it's not a supermarket, it's just shit.
You're such an entitled piece of crap.
No, it's just I've got used to a certain way of life, and I don't like it when that's messed with.
You have a car.
Yeah, but that's
You can buy shit to make lunch.
Yeah, but I like getting my ready-made sandwiches. Also, the kitchen is tiny, and I've, been cooking a bit more lately, so that's annoying. Also,
how important is kitchen size for cooking?
Very.
I mean, is it?
All right.
Countertop space, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, and also, drawers and stuff for ingredients, cutleries, plates.
What ingredients are you keeping in drawers?
Sugar, stuff like that.
Put it in a cupboard.
Yeah, no, sorry, cupboard and drawer space.
Oh, sorry, that's what I was picturing you having a cutlery drawer and then a sugar drawer.
No. Although, so the good thing is this place has a it's not all pessimistic. One good thing, this place has a built-in fridge freezer, so I bought my own. So now I have a dedicated drinks fridge, and I've also assigned one of the freezer drawers, so it's just ice. It's just full of ice. It's brilliant.
Of course.
So that's a good thing. The rest is pretty bad.
I mean,
it
sounds bad.
It's a gas hob instead of an electric hob.
That's fine.
It's not. I don't like it as much. It confuses me. But always look on the bright side of life, Jack. It could be worse.
Yeah, it could. Do you believe that? Because
No.
I don't know if you do. Exactly.
It's pretty bad, but no, it's not. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just
no, it's not.
It's just not the best thing in the world either. And I believe you should always strive for the best.
You're never going to get a place like that first place, Liam. That's what you've got to tell yourself.
Why would I tell myself that?
Because you're not going to.
You don't know that.
I mean, I do, because your ideals of where you want to live and what you want to live in do not combine.
That's very true. Also, the
You
price
want,
I want
you
to pay
want
for
a
that.
really nice... Exactly, yeah. You want a nice, like, big country house, which is cheap because it's far away from all the shit.
Yeah.
But you want to live near all the shit, which is always expensive and small.
Just
So
a,
you-
just a
you're just
Tesco
like-
Express and a co-op, really. Like, the thing is, I didn't mind the fact that it was like a 15-20 minute drive to get to all the shit. Like, I can deal with that. Like, even now, I'm still not close enough to like, my local comic book shop, for example. I think it's like a 10-15 minute walk, which isn't ideal, if we're being honest.
From your house.
It's cold at the moment,
You're,
because it's winter.
I have no sympathy. I was trying so hard to have sympathy for you, Liam. Trying so goddamn hard. I have none. A 10-minute walk is fucking nothing.
I haven't done it yet, so I might be wrong. We need to do a walk and test
Well,
it, but we haven't yet.
Let's put this conversation on pause because it's just going to end with me
Yes.
being mean to you. And then you come back when you figure out how long the walk is.
Okay, because if it's like a 20-minute walk, that's too long, right?
No, 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Oh, fucking hell, it's probably not going to be that.
Well,
Whatever, it's like a 10-minute drive still. So, it's still a 10-minute drive, so the walk has to be significant, right?
not necessarily. It depends on the roads and stuff. But yeah, probably the walk is like what? I don't know, mate. I've not seen.
But guess what that leads us nicely onto?
What does it lead us nicely onto?
How's your driving going?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh.
For good reason.
Okay, what's the good reason?
I was on holiday for a week.
Ooh, did you go anywhere exotic?
Nope.
Where did you go?
I went to a cabin in the woods, Liam.
Oh, that sounds very spooky.
It's not spooky at all, surprisingly.
Okay, so, what happened?
Lots of hot tubbing. That was a thing.
So there were lots of girls there.
I mean, there were two girls, and they were there with their boyfriends.
Okay.
So
Sounds
no,
very,
I guess
very sexy.
Percentage wise, what's that? That's like 20%, 25% girls, I think. No,
How many people in total?
there were 6 of us, so 33%
Okay.
of them were girls. And a dog.
So-
There was a dog there.
Okay, that's something.
I mean, to be honest, mate, it was really good. I don't know why you try and put down my holidays when I talk about them.
No. I'm not trying to put it down. I wouldn't dream of trying to put it down.
Well, I don't believe you.
I'm just kind of wondering, all I've heard so far is you went into a hot tub with 2 women that weren't single.
Yeah, you.
So
I think
far,
that
you're not
I've got it,
selling me.
Liam. Don't worry, I've got you, buddy. I figured it out. I'm sorry, I've
Okay.
misunderstood. What I forgot was that I'm not talking to a regular human being. I made that mistake. It's fine. It's understandable. We got our wires
Yeah.
crossed.
Yes,
For
exactly.
a sexual pervert is the way people describe it. As you know,
Do they?
I think what you're picturing is that hot tubs are just a sexy thing.
Primarily, yeah.
No, they're not. They're actually
never
like
been
a
in one.
relaxing thing. Sitting in the freezing cold winter inside a really warm hot tub and chilling with your friends drinking beer is actually quite good.
Okay.
So I think that's the mistake you've made there, buddy, is you forgot to turn off sex mad Liam.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you say sitting in a hot tub in a freezing cold winter drinking beer with your friends is really good, but
Yeah.
I don't get, like, the hot tub side of it, to be honest.
Why?
Like, couldn't you just sit, like, next to a fireplace drinking beer? Like, at the end of the day, right, let's say I have friends, right? Let's just say I do. For
Well,
the
we know
purpose
you've
of
got
this.
at least 2.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I personally would rather drink beer with them while they're fully clothed. I don't feel a need to see them in any sort of state of undress.
I mean, it's swimming clothes, Liam.
Huh?
It's swimming clothes. You wear, like, swim shorts.
Yeah, I don't want to see, and I don't want other people to see, like, hairy chests and nipples.
Why? They're your friends. I honestly don't understand what you're saying. Like, seriously, I don't understand what your argument
I'm saying,
is.
if I'm drinking with my friends, I'd rather they pop a
Yeah.
shirt on.
Are you worried that you'll be attracted to them?
No, I'm worried it'll put me off my drinks.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, do you see?
You've been to a swimming pool, yeah?
Not for a long time.
Oh, okay, maybe that's the issue. Another Liam isn't normal situation, perhaps.
Well, like, you know how you're not
I mean,
ashamed of
you're
your
aware
body?
that there's like things called water parks which are really popular because people like swimming and like enjoy doing shit in pools and stuff, right? This is effectively a
Yeah.
small pool that you can't swim in.
Yeah.
Like, but it's warm and it's got jets and flashing lights.
Right, but why can't you just next to a fireplace?
I mean, you could, Liam, but that's a good argument for anything. Why do you watch films? You could just sit by a fireplace. I mean, I can say it about fucking anything, mate.
No. What? This is.
Why
crazy.
do you play
You're
D&D with your
talking
friends?
crazy.
You could just sit by a fireplace. Do you see the issue I'm having?
No, you're.
Why do you
like-
drive everywhere, Liam? Why do you drive places? You could just sit by a fireplace. I mean, it doesn't. It's not. It's not a count. I could have sat by a fireplace.
I mean,
but we
I
sat
feel
in a
like
hot tub.
If you stopped being facetious, you'd possibly understand where I'm coming from.
Go on.
Right, all of those things that you were suggesting, they're things that, like, you're doing something. So why watch a film instead of, or I could just sit at a fireplace? Well, I watch a film because it gives me, like, a story and stuff that I'm not going to get if I sit by a fireplace, right? But you're just saying all you're doing is sitting in a hot tub, drinking beer and talking to your friends. All I'm saying is you remove the hot tub from that scenario. You keep the thing that you're actually doing, which is the drinking beer and talking friends, and you just replace the hot tub with a fireplace and clothes. That's that. Do you see?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It's very different to the things you're suggesting.
I will counter that then with, because I was being facetious. That's true.
Yes.
What you just said, right? Keeping the core activity, but I'm changing the hot tub for the fire, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to the cinema to watch a film, you could stay at home and watch a film, right? That's the same. That's what we're saying. The core activity, watching the film.
I couldn't see the same film.
No, you could. There's a time difference, yeah, but you could.
Eventually, but like, let's say,
like if we're factoring in time, factoring in time, I couldn't have sat by a fire because there wasn't a fire at the cabin.
Right, you could have just said
then
that.
I couldn't. Oh no, because that's a boring answer. I mean, wait. No, that doesn't explain it, Liam. It's not like if there was a fire, we'd have still got in the hot tub.
Wait,
I think we need to boil this down. We need to boil this back down. Let's
me.
go back down. Let's get back down to the core issue here, which is you don't seem to understand why hot tubs are nice.
No. I get why they're nice. If I was by myself or with a partner, sure, enjoy the hot tub.
I don't think you understand hot tubs.
No, I do.
Like, they're designed for, like, 6 people. They literally have 4 seats in one corner, 2 little bed things that you can lie down on in this one hot tub. Like, it's not designed for you and one person.
It sounds like they're designed for 4 people, not 6, if they only have 4
No, there were
seats.
4 chairs and 2 bed things.
I don't, like, how do you lie down in a hot tub?
I mean, that's what we were doing. I'll find you a picture if you want of someone lying in a hot tub.
No, I don't really want that.
Okay.
I think the thing is, I think you're happier to see your friends half naked than I am. I think that's what it comes down to.
I mean, you're saying that like that's weird, Liam, but again, people go in pools with their friends. Like, listeners, I get that I was being facetious. I know that it's hard to like me when I'm being a dick, right? I get that, and I'm more than happy to hear you all go, oh, Jack's a right dickhead, all that stuff. That's fine. I accept that. What I also would just like to check is, I don't understand Liam is the problem.
Yeah, that's a good
Do
question.
you...
How
No.
many-
Do
No,
you
here's
think
a good question.
that it's
Here's a good
weird to
question.
go to the pool with your friends because they aren't wearing tops? Because that's what Liam is saying, listeners. I know that I'm doing the thing where I turn you against me, but that is what Liam is saying. There's no way he can change that and say, I'm not saying that. He is saying, I think it's weird to see my friends topless.
Yeah, how many people that listen to this show in the last year went swimming with their friends? That's a fair question.
Yeah, it is. And I bet there's quite a lot. You know, all the people that go on holiday with their friends, all those people that, you know, go on nice summer holidays to
just
nice
to be
places
clear,
and go in the
not
sea.
including, like, significant others with friends. How many people who listen to this...
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
And please, if you do listen, I know, you know, we check the stats. We get a fair few listens. Now, I know you might be listening, you might think, I don't really want to respond. But I really, really, really want to know your answer to this. So, if you're listening, pop us a tweet, send us an email, pop it on Facebook. Just let us know, in the last year, if you went swimming with your friends.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
I think you think you're going to win this.
Right,
But again, I would like to point out, Liam, swimming pools are a fucking thing. It exists as an activity. People that go to swimming pools aren't going by themselves. Like, people do swim by themselves, Liam.
Yeah.
But that's not it. When you go to a pool, it's not fucking dead silence.
No, the thing is...
Like, there's not just separate groups going, don't look at each other's chests. We all need to be looking in the lane. Everyone swim in the lane. No one look. That is not happening.
I haven't been swimming in a long time, but I know...
Yeah, that's you, mate. You haven't been to a cabin in the woods in a long time.
If I was to go swimming, I wouldn't be like, hey, get my friends around, let's go swimming together and splash around and frolic. I'd go there for the exercise. I'd go there, do a few lengths, be like, oh, that was a good workout.
Again, though, you're fixating on the local swimming pool. As I said, you go on holiday with your friends and you swim in the sea. You go on holiday with your friends and you swim in hotel pools. There's lots of swimming pools, Liam. There's not just the exercise ones.
Well, let's see what the listeners say, shall we?
Yeah, let's.
Anyway, what else did you do on this? Because I'm sure it wasn't just hot tubs.
No, I watched The Purge 3.
Any good?
I've not seen the first Purge film.
It's not bad. It's got Ethan Hawke in it. It's
I've heard
than
the guys that I was with said the first one was bad.
It's a better idea than it is a story, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, that's the same with The Purge 3.
I was not aware the Purge 3 was out. I thought it only recently got a cinema release.
No, it was on the TV.
Well, that's
convenient. That was the good thing about this cabin, right? Was I think we paid slightly extra to get on the Wi-Fi, but that also got you their like TV package, which had all the sort of regular Freeview channels, but then it had this category. I think it was 152 films that you could watch just at any time for free.
Nice,
and they were like decent films.
Good.
Yeah, no, it was.
So yeah, The Purge 3. Did you like The Purge 3?
Yes.
Did you watch any other films?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the remake one, and I haven't seen the first one of that either.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard from Mark Dawes, who regular listens, shout out to Mark, how's it going, that they're not terrible.
No, they're not. I thought they would be.
Yeah, and I think it has Will Arnett in it, which is what makes me kind of want to give it a go.
It does. He is playing Will Arnett in it, though. Like, he's playing a character, but it is just Will Arnett.
I'm okay with that. I like
Will
Arnett.
Is fine. I like him too, yeah.
Did you watch anything else? Any Walking Dead, maybe?
No, not while I was on holiday, because I was with people and we were watching other stuff.
But since we last recorded, you've definitely started watching The Walking Dead, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
Are you at the end of the series yet?
Getting there.
Has there been the mid-season break yet?
No, but each week we get 1 week closer.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So
I've got plenty of time.
It was episode 5 that was out, sort of aired in the States on Sunday.
Oh, I'm fine then. I've got ages, mate.
Yeah. The thing is, let's just hope that the mid-season sort of finale isn't going to be notable or worth talking about. Because I think we're like 3 weeks away from it.
I don't know how many of our listeners come here to listen to us actually be sensible and have opinions. I think they might just come to hear us argue. Possibly.
In which case, tell me more about this vacation of yours.
There was one other thing that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Me and Tom, one of the guys we went with, who has done art for the show but has never been a guest on the show.
Which we need to rectify at some point.
We do. Me and him saw a drone in a toy shop. So, not going to be a great drone, but we bought it between us.
Is it one of those ones with a camera?
It does have a camera, Liam. It doesn't connect to your phone or anything. And if you have the camera on, it killed the battery in 2 minutes, we think. So we disconnected the camera. It also took shit photos.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we were flying this drone around. That was fun. That was good, flying it through the woods. We did lose it once.
Did you find it again?
We did, but it took, 10, 15 minutes to find, and by then the battery had died. We literally went out into a field, flew it as high as we could, and then it came down, and we ended up looking around this field for 15 minutes, and then had to walk back to the cabin and be like, well, that was it.
Well, that sounds, like an adventure.
It was an adventure.
So, and then what happened? I thought, is there more to this story, or was that it?
No, that was it.
Oh. I mean, I guess your little cabin excursion probably was quite a good sort of bonding experience, right?
I mean, I'm already pretty close friends with all the people that went.
Yeah, but I'm sure there was like special moments that you shared, and I'm sure you'll look back when you're old and grey and you'll be like, those were the days.
Yeah, probably.
That's good. You been doing anything else?
No, not really.
I have.
What have you been doing, Liam?
Went to the cinema.
Oh, what did you say?
So, you know what time it is, don't you?
It's time for everyone's favourite part of the show. Liam talks about a film and doesn't give any spoilers about the film that he saw at the cinema in the last 2 weeks.
Close enough. I saw The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
I've been told that Is it still in cinema?
It's not in my
I'm towards
local
the end,
cinema,
aren't I?
but you've got
Damn
the
it.
London cinemas, so they'll have a longer sort of
That's true.
run time for these things.
I wanted to go see it, but missed my opportunity.
Okay, well, I would say probably not a terrible thing that you missed.
Oh,
the
really?
opportunity. Yeah, here's the thing. I adore Ben Affleck, okay?
Yep.
I think he's brilliant. The film has a really strong cast, because not only do you have Ben Affleck, you have Anna Kendrick, who's adorable, J.K. Simmons, who I love. I understand that you might be struggling with these names.
No, I know all of these people.
Perfect. And there's a couple of other sort of faces who you'd recognise if you saw them.
Yeah.
So with a cast that strong, I was really excited. The story it's not good enough, to be honest.
Oh, really?
It has these weird, like, odd action moments, which I'm admittedly more excited than I was kind of expecting them to be. But it doesn't come together very nicely as a satisfying whole. At times, it feels like it's trying to copy John Wick, which came out a couple of years ago. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I didn't. I was told that I needed to see that too.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy that. So at times, it feels like it's trying to emulate that. But it's also got this weird thing where... so Ben Affleck plays a character who has autism, okay?
Yep.
And throughout the film, they sort of play it a little bit for jokes, which... fair enough, but then at the end they like try and hammer home this like really serious, important message about autism, and it just sort of undercuts the fact that they were kind of spinning jokes out of it. Like, it just had a really weird tone that didn't quite work, I don't think.
Okay.
I feel like, you know, if you're going to have an autistic character, you either 100% play it for jokes and you have a good reason for doing that, or you have a serious message. Trying to like do both is just a little bit weird.
I mean, that's fairly common in films, though, the jokey character and then it gets serious.
Yeah, but like the character itself can get serious, but for the film to be like, to like almost stop what's happening and be like, wait a second, everyone, we have like an important message about autism to tell you. It just it didn't work, I don't think. But the action scenes are fine. 2 out of 5.
Oh, that's low.
It's not great, is it?
No.
So that was the accountant.
Maybe I won't rush. Sorry.
Yeah, no, carry on.
I was going to say maybe I won't rush to the cinema to see it.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't even say necessarily get it on like DVD once it's out. It's probably like wait for it to come on TV. Like if you have like Sky Cinema or something. Next film was Nocturnal Animals. Now,
yeah, I think I've seen some of that. I've seen trailers and stuff for it.
Yeah, I've seen trailers for it at the cinema, but I haven't really seen it being promoted like on TV or anything.
No.
It stars Amy Adams, who's in another film that I saw, which I'll talk about, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, as well as, you know, a few other people. Michael Shannon is another one. Any of those names work for you?
Some of them.
Good. So any that didn't?
Who was the third one?
Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Don't know who that is.
Main guy in Kick-Ass.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So Nocturnal Animals is... It's the sort of film that I feel like it's best to go in and see not knowing anything about it. For you, I don't know if it would work for you on the same level that it worked for me, and that's not me being like snobby or anything.
I think it might be.
That's just me kind of having a rough idea of what you like, and this is kind of quite dark.
I like dark.
You need to... how do I explain this without being insulting towards you?
No, go on. Be insulting.
No. Like, I'm trying to figure out why it is that I don't think you'd like it.
Is it, like, super serious?
It's kind of serious, yeah.
I mean, I like serious, but I'm trying to help you figure this out.
Yeah. Like, it's the sort of film where, like, there's definitely some people who I socialise with who I'd be like, I think they'd like it. I don't think you would.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. It's happened sometimes. But yeah, so I can't really talk too much about it except to say amazing performances. Amy Adams has been in a few films this year. Like, she was also in Batman vs Superman. And she's the sort of actress that I really want to get excited about when I see that she's going to be in something. But she has yet to do like that one film where I can pinpoint it and go, she was incredible in that. Like, she's always good, but she's never quite got to that next tier for me where I get like super pumped. And even in this one, she's really, really good, but I'm still waiting for that like moment.
Was she in Wedding Crashers?
No, you're getting her confused with Isla Fisher.
Yes, I am.
which is fair dues because Isla Fisher is also in this film.
Oh, really?
And quite an interesting point you make there.
Oh, now I know Amy Adams. I've just Googled her. Yeah.
Yeah, she plays Lois Lane.
Yes, she does. I mean, that film,
Yeah.
I don't really remember who played anyone.
Okay, so the interesting thing, Nocturnal Animals, to try and give us, like, as brief a description as possible, basically, Amy Adams' ex sends her a manuscript that he's been working on, and as she's reading it, it sort of plays out on the screen.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, and it seems like the manuscript is drawing from kind of past experiences, and Jake Gyllenhaal plays not only her ex, but also, like, the main character in the manuscript. So we're seeing it all through her eyes. So there's a character in it that we can assume is supposed to represent her, but is actually played by Isla Fisher, which you can almost read as, like, Amy Adams picturing herself as, like, picturing Isla Fisher as almost like a better version of herself. So I can see, like, it's kind of... Therefore, it's quite funny that you would get those two mixed up.
Yes, because that is sort of what they're doing in the film-ish.
Exactly. But saying anything more than that would be spoiling, except to say Aaron Taylor-Johnson is incredible, and there's a scene that is just one of the most tense scenes I've seen in a long time. And I actually would like you to see it. I just don't think you'd like it at least as much as I did.
Okay.
4 out of 5. Probably going to be in my top 10 of the year, to be honest.
Ooh, fair enough.
And then the last film I saw was Arrival, another Amy Adams film.
I really want to see this.
Also has Jeremy Renner in it, and tell me why you want to see it first.
Because it's got aliens in it.
Okay, yep.
I'm scared that I was really worried that you were going to turn around and go, no, none of that cool stuff happens.
No, like, I feel like here's the problem. If you've seen the trailer for Arrival, you have a fairly good idea of how at least 2/3 of the film's going to go.
I mean, I sort of assumed that from the trailer, like... It's one of those fucking trailers where you're like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
So that was frustrating. The other thing is, alright, before I kind of talk about the film, I have to say I had a pretty bad experience for the first, 20 minutes in seeing it.
Oh, was this the one?
Yeah. Sat down, went by myself, because, Kat wasn't interested in seeing it. And I have no qualms with going to cinema by myself.
No.
Sat down, it was a Sunday, it was like a midday showing, so I was expecting it to be kind of quiet. Had a guy sat next to me. And my local cinema does popcorn in paper bags for some reason. And I know, a while back, we talked about going to cinema on an episode when I went to see Creed, probably nearly a year ago now.
Yeah.
And I had a really bad experience then. This wasn't that bad, but here's the thing. When you're at the cinema and you've got a rustly paper bag, at least if it's me, I try to be careful with how I get the popcorn out. I try and do it in a way that doesn't make too much noise. This guy didn't give a fuck. Every time he reached in... Instead of, reaching sort of over the edge of the bag and in, it sounded like he was just smashing through the edge of the bag. And when that's going on right next to your ear, it's really hard to settle and enjoy what's going on the screen.
Did you have a go at him?
No, because he could have probably beaten me up. Also, what do you say? Stop rustling that bag.
You punch the popcorn bag out of his hands. You uppercut it so that the popcorn goes everywhere. And then you just look him dead in the eyes. And you don't say anything, Liam.
Here's what I did. I sort of huffed and puffed a little bit and sort of fidgeted on my seat. And then at about the 20-minute mark, I was like, it's unlikely that any new people are coming into the cinema now. So I saw, 2 rows down, there was an empty seat. And I just, exasperatedly got up and moved.
That's what I would have done as well.
Yeah. I just feel really uncomfortable, being confrontational.
Yes.
It's not in my nature.
No, that's fair.
So that just it marred the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's sort of annoying.
Yeah, it was annoying, but I watched the film. The film just, like I said, the trailer gave too much away. So I get what the film was doing. Okay, the film is trying to do something, and I've been told, and I've heard I've seen reviews and stuff where it's telling me that what the film is doing is really cool and really good. I just didn't get that from it. I totally get what it's doing. I felt personally like there was an opportunity for the film to do something that for me would have worked really well, but it didn't take that opportunity, and so it was just I was just left really underwhelmed.
Okay, well that's fair enough. You're allowed your opinion, Liam.
Yeah, 2.5 out of 5. I would be curious for you to see it and for us to talk about it, just because I wonder how you'll feel about sort of if you'd kind of agree or disagree with my kind of criticisms of it.
Yeah. I'll try and hope, I'll see if I can get down to the cinema and see it.
Yeah,
at some point.
I do think you'd like this film, but you're way more into aliens and shit than I am.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You fucking love them.
I do.
So yeah, those were the films I went to see at the cinema. If you've got to see one this week, I'd say Nocturnal Animals, to be honest. But just be wary, it's an odd film, kind of twisted, but brilliant.
Fair enough.
And that was it for Liam Went to Cinema, and these are the spoiler-free reviews of the films that he saw at the cinema.
See, even you can't say it.
I got confused. You know what time it is now? Housekeeping.
Oh, damn it.
Then any more Witcher 3?
No, because I got Dishonored 2.
Oh, how's that going?
I've played a bit of it. I've not played much, because
Okay.
I've been super busy. Like, I got back from holiday,
Yep.
bought it the day I got back, played maybe 2 hours that day, and then I've been busy at work, and I've had tons of shit on after work, so I haven't really had a chance to properly sit down, but, like, so far, it's good.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Like, I quite enjoyed the adverts for it and stuff.
Did you ever play Dishonored 1?
No, I didn't.
See, I think it'd be worth playing Dishonored 1, because that's had a remaster.
Okay. Yeah, like, I've got enough to be playing, to be honest. If I
that's
ever
fair
get
enough.
around to it, it'll be in a year's time at least.
Fair enough.
There's too fucking much on.
Have you been playing any more Witcher?
Yeah, I've done a little bit.
Still the same?
I still haven't got to Skellige, and yeah, I still feel like... I was talking to you about this recently, and I was saying, if a game is going to be 100 hours long, right, I want it to offer me something different over those 100 hours. Like, for me, the perfect length of a game is probably, say, 20 to 40 hours. If I can get the story done in that time, and then, you know, the last, say, 10 hours wrapping up stuff and whatnot, that for me is very satisfying. When it's 100 hours and it is literally, you're just doing the same thing, nothing really changes, I just feel like, does it need to be this long?
I don't think the game was made for you.
No, it probably
That's
wasn't.
not in a mean way.
Yeah, there's probably people who would disagree and be like, no, it's amazing because 100 hours lets you really sort of dive into this story and stuff and this world. It's not, like, gripping me enough that you know, I'm probably, say, 40 hours into it, so the thought of another 60 hours still to go is not exciting.
You can just stop playing it.
Yeah, but I've done 40 hours now, so I might as well fucking finish it.
I mean, no, because you're not even halfway through.
Oh, man, there's so much to it. It's that I want to finish it, but it's starting to annoy me that there's a lot of games that I want to play that are building up, and instead I've got to, like, trawl through another 60 hours of this. So yeah, have you had any more Berserk?
No, I haven't.
Same. That's it for housekeeping. That's good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Culture swap.
Swap my culture.
What did we do this week?
This week, Liam, we watched the film Stand By Me.
Now, before we get into this, I have to say, I'm going to be biased because this is one of my all-time favourite films. Probably my third favourite film of all time.
I was going to say, I thought you'd said to me it was in your top 3.
It's my third favourite of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty high up there.
Yeah. It's only bested by Die Hard, which is my favourite film of all time.
And The Room.
No. And Grease, which I just love.
That sounds surprising. I'm surprised High School Musical isn't... Where's that on the list?
It's probably top 100.
That is not as high as I thought
Here's
it would
the
be.
thing. Like, you know, that Die Hard, Grease, Stand By Me, all 5-star films. High School Musicals, it's only a 4-star film. It's not a perfect film. Like, I love it, but I'm aware that there's a... You know, you've got Gabriella's solo song, for example. That knocks it down a little bit.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I kind of... I'm going to be biased. I have to say that up front.
Yeah, that's fair enough. When did you... Like, out of interest, when did you watch this film?
Like, the first ever time?
Yeah.
Probably in my teenage years. Probably around the age of, like, 16, 17. Maybe a little bit older.
Okay.
You've never seen it before, right? Which is why we chose it.
No, this was the first time I've seen it.
But, so one of the reasons why I was keen to do this is because I know you're a big Stephen King fan.
Yes.
And obviously this is based off of his novella, The Body.
Yep.
Which I'm assuming you've read?
Nope.
Okay. It's one of the
I love
very
Stephen
few...
King, but I haven't like read his entire catalogue of books.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read hardly any of his, but this is one of the few. I've read this one, and I read The Mist short story.
Fair enough, yeah.
I'm more on board with his short stories than I am with his books, to be honest.
Oh, I like his books.
Yeah, so, brief synopsis. It's about 4 kids who basically go to see a dead body. They find out that there's a dead body. They're like about 12 years old,
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
it was filmed in the 80s. I believe it was 1986. Let's double check that. Oh man, I closed the IMDb page down.
Same.
I'm sure it's 1986.
Just be confident.
I don't want to be wrong.
It's your favourite film, Liam. Third favourite film.
Favourite. 1986, I was right. So, it was filmed in 1986, but it's set in the 50s.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is literally just about 4 friends and the journey they take to go and see this dead body.
Well, I guess it's also slightly set in 66, because you've got the bit where he's talking.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but that's kind of not the bulk of the film.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of it's bookended by the main character having grown up, and the film is kind of him telling this story. So you get his that guy's played by Richard Dreyfuss, who film fans will know him, but Jack doesn't.
Nope, no idea.
And he kind of narrates throughout the film, and just sets the scene, if you will. So what did you think?
It's good. It's not great, but it's good.
Right, what? How's it not great?
Okay, so here's my theory on this.
Okay, right.
I think it's probably partially the nostalgia effect for people. Like, I don't think this film is a great film by today's standards.
What?
Well, okay, like...
So have you ever seen like a film that you'd watch and you'd say that film's timeless? It doesn't matter when it was made. It's so good that it transcends time.
The first B-movie.
So it's like that then?
That was a lie. That's not true. I don't like B-movie.
Like what? Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I'm fully aware that Star Wars is a nostalgia thing. If you show someone the episode 4, 5, and 6, they're more likely to not enjoy it as much now.
I showed him to Kat last year before we went to see Force Awakens, and she was not a fan.
Yeah. I showed them to Tom. Tom did like them.
Yeah.
But I think he preferred the newer stuff.
Okay.
Like, as in, because, you know, which I get, as much as I hate some of the prequels, I get because you've got the special effects are there. Like, it can be distracting for some people to watch something that doesn't have great special effects. Especially films that rely on special effects. Even though, you know, Star Wars does really well with the models and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, that's not really something that applies to Stand By Me.
No, it doesn't. But that's not... I wasn't saying that because of Stand By Me.
Yeah, no. We were just... Yeah, we got sidetracked.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Right, it's good. I enjoyed it. It's got a good story.
Yeah.
There are some... Like, the story's not exactly complex. It is. It's got complex bits.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've got...
Also, by the way, sorry, we didn't mention this, but you should know by now if you're a regular listener, we will spoil this.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
There's going to be spoilers. Now, it's quite an old film. It's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
There's some quick math in my head there.
Very good, Liam.
But, you know, it's one of those films that generally, if you haven't seen it, it's only 88 minutes long. It's not going to take a long time for you to go and watch it. Just do it, and then come back.
Or not, it doesn't matter. But
spoilers. Let's go.
Okay, so, the complex bits that I enjoyed.
Yep.
I like the Teddy Deschamps stuff.
Yep.
Because I like the whole... You know, I like the aspect of it where these kids are trying to understand why this other kid wants to kill himself.
Well,
or put himself... Because you never specifically... I think he does. I think there's a point in the film where he realises he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't think he is, like, suicidal.
I think he is. I think he 100% is.
Yeah,
that beginning bit where Chris tackles Teddy...
Yeah.
To get him off the tracks. I think at that bit, Teddy is genuinely being suicidal. But as a young kid, he doesn't know...
I don't think he's standing there being like, I want this train to hit me. He's standing there being like, I'm going to dodge out of the way, and it's going to be brilliant. Like, it's not him being like, I'm going to commit suicide. It's just him kind of doing that thing that kids sometimes do, where they're maybe like... No,
but it definitely isn't.
No, because there was kids at school that used to play chicken with cars, which was fucking ridiculous, but I wouldn't say they were suicidal.
No, and they aren't. And
this
Teddy
is similar. He was playing chicken with a train.
The difference with Teddy's character, right, and the kids that play chicken, are when Teddy's trying to play chicken, his reaction to Chris knocking him off the tracks, isn't like laughter and being like, haha, I can't believe I got you and freaked you out, or anything like that.
Yeah, no, because that's not what he was trying
Teddy's
to do.
reaction is, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Why did you stop me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I genuinely think that Teddy is contemplating suicide, doesn't necessarily know, isn't sitting there going, I want this train to kill me, but is putting himself in situations where he could genuinely die because some part of him wants to die.
I don't... Alright, that's fine. I'm not taking that away from you. If that's what you got from
I mean,
the film,
you 100% are. Your immediate reaction to, I think Teddy was trying to kill himself, was no, he wasn't.
Right, if that's what you got from the film, fine. I'm just saying, personally, I don't read that when I see that scene. Or any of the film. Like, I don't see a kid who's suicidal. I see a troubled kid, definitely, and I think he's maybe flirting with the idea of death, but I don't think he is, like, embracing it. Like, I genuinely feel like the reason why he was angry at Chris for knocking him off is because he bit of an attention seeker, and he wanted that, like, that train dodge. Because later on, when there's another, like, scene involving a train, it's Teddy who's saying that was the greatest train dodge of all time. Like, I genuinely feel like he is just wanting to like, you know, like those kids that play chicken. It's the thrill of flirting with death, but not actually, I want to die.
See, I disagree.
That's fair enough.
Because that later scene where they do the second train, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be in my narrative of it, or what I read into it.
Yeah.
That is when he realises that he's not necessarily ready to get killed or whatever. That's like I said, he's not deliberately trying to kill himself.
Yeah, I think if he was suicidal, then the second train thing, he'd have just stopped running and he'd been like, fine.
No, because this is the thing, right? With that first train, he's the only one in danger.
Yeah.
I think that it's him coming to terms with the fact that he's willing to put himself in danger, all this bullshit. Then he crosses that bridge and it nearly kills his two other friends. He doesn't even come close to dying on that second bit.
Yeah.
His two friends do.
Yeah.
And that's when I think he realises that he's got other people, all that bullshit, whatever.
Yeah, I
that's what I read into it.
That sobers him up a little bit. But yeah, for me, the way I read the first scene is just him basically playing chicken. I don't see him being...
Well, if you're saying that, Liam, it's going to detract some of this film from me, because that was one of the only bits that I found really good.
Okay, that's interesting.
I thought it was really fascinating, because I think it's interesting looking at stuff like that from the perspective of a child and how a child deals with these things. Like, his dad burnt his ear off on a stove. I thought that stuff's interesting, where you're like... Because I think that is the point of this film, right? Is you're meant to be looking at these situations that as an adult... Like, if you're an adult and you find a dead body, you know what you do. You call the police, right?
Yeah.
And it's more these kids trying to understand adult situations in their childlike world of sort of innocence.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably like the most prime example of a coming of age film, right? Which is that is basically what it's about. It's coming of age films. It's about that transition period. It's, you know, how you view things as a child, and also the experiences that would kind of then, when you view those things later on, those experiences inform how you would view them differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and the other thing we have to bear in mind is I love coming of age films. And I also love, like, 50s Americana.
Yeah, this is like your ideal film.
Yeah, it's just a perfect marriage for me. What else did you like?
I don't know. I liked all of it.
But it's
like
not
I said,
great.
I liked this film. It's a good film.
But not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need
I think
to dig into why it's not great.
The bully stuff, the older kids that are bullying them.
Yep.
It's too over the top. It dragged me out of the film, because all I can think is, why would some 18-year-old high schooler be willing to slit a child's throat because of a dead body?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that feels over the top and ridiculous.
I don't know, like, your experience with bullies, to be honest.
Did you ever have any of them threaten to kill you and properly do it?
Okay, so when I was at school, secondary school, there was definitely like a kid in a few years older who kind of like hung around the area where I lived, and he was just bad news, right? Like, probably in jail now, to be honest. And there was an incident once where I'd got home from school, I wanted to get some sweets, and it was probably a good, like, 10-15 minute walk to the sweet shop that I wanted to go to. And I was going there by myself, and this kid was with, like, his cousin, who was in my class. And it's the sort of kid where there were parked cars along the side of the road, and he was just jumping onto the bonnet, walking along the roof, onto the boot of the car, and then jumping off.
Yep, so a dickhead.
Yeah. And he sees me coming, and he, like, grabs me by my shirt and, like, lifts me up and is, like, threatening me. And then it's only because the kid that was in my class was like, I'll leave him alone, he's in my class, he's all right. That's, like, the only reason why he kind of dropped me, and I just ran.
No, I had shit like that. I had shit like that happen.
Yeah. Now, like, I'm not saying he pulled a knife or whatever. I'm just saying I feel like what this film does with that character is you're still seeing that character. It's a little bit extreme, but it is kind of how you feel when you're in that sort of situation. I feel like it's entirely possible that maybe he wouldn't, like, actually slit someone's throat, and he's just, he's being egged on by his friends. He's
there's
being
no
a
way.
bit showy.
There's no way in that scene they weren't implying that, because it's at the point where like the rest of his mates aren't exactly happy that he's got a knife pressed against a kid's throat. There's no way the director was going, in this scene, this guy's just showing off.
I don't feel like he was going to slit anyone's throat, personally.
I mean, you're taking away any of the bits that I actually liked in this film. You're lowering the rating for this film for me.
No, but that's fine. Just because I read the film differently to you doesn't like diminish from how you experience the film.
Meh.
So carry on. Also, you were saying that was a negative thing. You were saying that's something that was drawing you out of the film.
Yeah, it was. But you've made it just even worse.
Okay.
Because already I'm not a fan of I don't know why any of that happened. I don't understand why the bullies were in it. Like, I get the point they're trying to make.
Which is?
Like, the bullies are not even like, not the overarching point, just the bullies are the bad guys who are also trying to find the body. That thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But, like, why? Because that, to me, the only thing that gives us is Gordy getting balls. That's the only thing that adds to the characters.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything new about Chris or Teddy or Vern. You only learn something new about Gordy, and that's that he'll look after his friends. That's what you learn.
Yeah, I mean,
I could have got that from any other scene. They could have had Chris fall in a hole, and then Gordy's like, everyone's like, we've got to leave him, Gordy, we're going to die. I don't know, mate. Like, I'm being over the top, but seriously, like, I don't think that added anything to the film for me, particularly.
Well, you're wrong, because Kiefer Sutherland's brilliant, but, that's fine.
Kiefer Sutherland is brilliant, but... Yeah. You could have just had him be a bully in town and not be in that final scene.
But why that final scene works with Kiefer Sutherland in it, right, is because it sets up... So this whole film is basically Gordy's story, okay? Like, the other characters are important and they each have their own moments. But obviously Gordy's the narrator. It's about him and his kind of transition from childhood into, like, not necessarily adulthood, but... that wide-eyed innocence of the world being sort of removed a little bit. And the reason why that works with Ace is you have that scene at the beginning where Ace takes his brother's baseball cap off of Gordy.
Yeah.
As you said, establishes him as a dickhead, whatever. Then that all comes back around later on, because in that scene, Gordy 100% just lets that happen, doesn't stand up for himself. Yeah. So you then, after all of the experiences of the film, you bring that character back to once again have another confrontation, and Gordy stands up for himself. And that kind of... It demonstrates that transition. Yeah,
it does. That's true.
But...
I don't know. It just strains... It's all a little bit... Like, the film doesn't do anything crazy. There's nothing crazy in this film. There's no, like, surprising events that I'm like, whoa.
No, like, aliens or anything ridiculous.
So that's good. This is a positive. These are all positives, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? But then it gets to that end scene...
Yeah.
And the bullies just happen to turn up at the exact right time. Ace happens to be, whether or not he is going to kill Chris, he happens to be, like, super aggressive in that scene.
Yeah, with a knife.
Exceptionally violent. It's all just... And that's Stephen King, because that's what he does. But it's like... I don't know, man. It just feels unnecessary, I guess.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not saying I didn't like this film. It was a good film.
Out of interest, right, and this isn't me, like, trying to pick holes in your argument or whatever, but... Just out of interest, how would you have ended the film?
I don't know how I'd have ended it because I'm not a filmmaker. But if you'd have had it that they go back to town and there's another confrontation and Gordy gets his hat back, which is a much cheesier ending.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some resolution there. Like, I don't know.
So one of the things I before we started this, I was watching a making of documentary on the film. So apparently Will Wheaton, when they were shooting that scene at the end, said to the director Rob Reiner, "I get my hat back now, right?" And even Kiefer Sutherland was like, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So he says that, and Rob Reiner was like, no, that's not what happens. And apparently, in the earlier scene, when Kiefer Sutherland first takes it, Kiefer Sutherland was saying his first kind of instinct was to put the hat on. And Rob Reiner stopped him and was like, no, you don't care that much about it, you wouldn't mess up your hair. And he's saying, when he was talking to Kiefer Sutherland, he was saying, as soon as you got around the corner, you'd have thrown that hat away. Like, that hat meant nothing to you. It was just like a show that you were doing. So that's why later on, like, it's never explained in the film, but that's why later on he never gets his hat back, because it would have just been thrown away.
See, the hat was a minor bit in my end story, Liam. I didn't mind the hat. I meant more just you don't need the confrontation to take place by the dead body.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I thought that was a fun little fact.
That is interesting. That is, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I like the confrontation. I think
it's just unbelievable. I don't mind the confrontation. Like I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable that they'll get there at the same time.
Okay.
Like, they're in a fucking car. Where were they? These kids just walked for 2 days.
Yeah.
What were the guys doing in the car?
Yeah, so you see the guy, the whole reason why the kids start off is because Vern overhears about the dead body from his older brother.
Yeah.
His older brother and his friend had boosted a car and had found the body while they were driving this stolen car. They weren't going to tell Ace about it because they didn't want to talk about the whole boosting of the car and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then, I think it even says in the film that they lasted like a whole 36 hours or something before they told someone in their little group. And then you have the scene where both of them are telling different people, saying you have to swear on your mother that you're not going to tell anyone. They say within 40 minutes or whatever, the whole group knew. So that's why there's such a time difference. You know, that's how.
But I'm sure but you see Ace and that driving before. Do you not see them driving before the first time the kids go to sleep?
They're not driving to the body though.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, they don't find out about it until the next day. So yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. It's a coincidence that. They show up, but...
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with doing coincidences in films and, stories and stuff. I don't know. It just felt...
I was going to say, if you take coincidence out of film, you're left with, just a...
Yeah, exactly. You need it. It just feels out of place to me in that scene.
Okay, fair enough.
It's almost... Do you know what it is? It's almost like they're pushing too much revelation in that bit. Because you literally get Gordy dealing with the death of his brother.
Yeah.
Like when he's doing the whole, why did you have to die?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, why is he talking to the body? And then Chris is like, no. You guys need to walk away.
Yes.
And all that, right? You get all these revelations, and then it's like, oh, and guess what? Gordy stands up for himself now. And it's like, oh, okay, that's such a minor thing compared to the fact that this kid is clearly fucked up about the death of his brother. Maybe it's that. I don't know, mate.
That's fair.
I'm trying to find a reason.
I don't want to take away from what you're saying, because I think you're making good points. I will just say, I think the standing up is a kind of cathartic moment. So, like you said, you have the whole revelation stuff, but it's not very, for an audience, it's not very cathartic, whereas the standing up scene is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I have to say, I think all of the kid actors, because, again, I think Will Wheaton and Corey Feldman both turned 13 when they were making this film. Jerry O'Connell was the youngest, he was 11 at the time of filming, and I'm not sure how old River Phoenix was, but I think he was around 12, 13. They all give, amazing performances.
Yeah, they're some of the best child actors.
Yeah, I normally hate children actors in films, but and it's not only that they're given easy stuff to do either. They are actually acting in some pretty dramatic scenes at some points.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Why?
There's literally, so I finished watching it, and it's one of those films where I could have easily just put it on and watched again. Everything about it just works. It all just clicks so perfectly. The chemistry between the cast members, that the way those friendships are brought to the screen. The soundtrack to the film is incredible. Everything just works for me.
Yeah, I liked the soundtrack. The soundtrack was good. And I liked the friendship and shit between the characters.
Yep. The direction was fine. So one other interesting thing that came up in the making of documentary, he's saying, Rob Reiner, the director, saying normally if you have a film with young kids, there'll be a lot of edits because the director will spoon feed the kid a line and only be able to get that kid saying that line right maybe once or twice. So they'll just have a little tiny clip, and you can really tell in the first Harry Potter film that's what they've had to do. The first Harry Potter was very cutty because they were literally just getting that one line and then moving on to the next.
Yeah.
And he was making a point that in this film there's a lot of long scenes where you have all 4 of the cast members all hitting their cues, delivering their lines, emphasising the right moments, the right bits, and acting not as not acting as child actors, but actually acting.
Yeah, I can see that.
I also feel I don't know how much you know about River Phoenix, but he did die quite young.
Okay.
And I feel obviously not intentional, but now when watching back, it does give a certain poignancy to one of the last moments in the film.
Yeah, the revelation that he got stabbed however long afterwards.
Yeah, well, that's what starts this whole film off, is the main character reads a newspaper article, which is about him getting stabbed. And I think he even says towards the end, he hadn't spoken in 15 years, but he knew that he'd never have, a friend like that again, sort of thing. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
How do you feel so when you were watching this film, did it make you think back to any of your sort of childhood days?
I mean, no, I didn't walk on train tracks.
Yeah, but it's not you're watching that being I did bodies. That, but surely you had like friends that you kind of had that kind of, you know.
See, okay, so here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is I don't know. I know that back in those days, and you know, up until probably like the 90s, right?
Yeah.
It was so much more difficult for people to stay in contact, and like I remember coming out of primary school and my parents being like, "Oh well, you know, you and LJ, you know, you're going to the same school, but you might not stay friends," and all this stuff. I have been probably very lucky in that, like my main friends from primary school have been my friends since primary school and are still my friends.
Yeah, I think that's quite.
So
rare.
like, I don't. So when films do the whole like, what a beautiful friendship, and then have the revelation like, well, I didn't speak to him for 15 more years. I'm like, well, you didn't try hard enough, which is the incorrect attitude to have, because I know that's not the only thing. But it is like, I'm like, well, I've done it.
I don't think that's the takeaway though.
I know it's not. It's not. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it means that it sort of impacts me less when you have, because I can imagine if you had super close friends and then you hadn't seen each other for like 15 years and you watch this film, get to that end and you're like, oh man, me and Steve haven't spoken for 15 years. Jesus. Like, I can see it being this real big, like, oh, it was inside me the whole time. But for me, I don't have that, because I'm like, yeah, I have spoken to LJ.
Yeah, I have that. I do have friends that I haven't spoken to, but just because, you know, like
you like actively cut them out, didn't you, Liam?
Yep. But also, like, no, but I feel like that's not the point it's even making. The point that it's that sort of thing is making isn't, you know, oh, it's a shame we haven't spoken. I should have kept in touch. I think there's it's not a line that's spoken, but it's written in the film where it's something along the lines of I never had friends like the ones I had when I was 12. And it's just like, Jesus, who does? And I think that's the point. It's not that they haven't spoken in 15 years. It's that before you have like the distractions of girls and growing up and stuff, that friendship at that time period in your life is like even probably different. So like taking you, for example, the bond and friendship you had with like LJ when you was 12 probably is different to what you've got now.
It is, but it's not, I don't know. I think me and my friends have got closer the older we've gotten.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, that's when you're...
But I see what you mean, yeah, it's a different type of friendship.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, Gordy has no friends at the end of the film, because he doesn't he sort of say he hasn't had... Oh, maybe he doesn't specifically say he hasn't had a friend, he just says, I haven't had friends like him, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he has a family and stuff, he seems pretty, like, put together.
Well, yeah, that doesn't mean you have friends. You can have a family without having friends.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like, you know, I don't get the impression that he has no friends. I get the impression he's sort of has a fairly normal life.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything else you want to say about it?
I don't know.
I have no critiques to give, just praise. So I feel like I've gushed enough.
I mean, there must be something you don't like in this film.
No.
Okay.
There isn't. No, but there isn't. Like, it's one of my favourite films. It would be like me trying to critique Die Hard. Impossible.
Too much awesome.
That's not a bad thing sometimes.
No, I agree.
So, yeah. I think you make an interesting point about, you know, maybe when you see the film affects how much you enjoy it.
Yeah. I think nostalgia films... Like, I'm not saying this film isn't great, but especially when you see it at a younger age. Like, I know you were past the age they were at.
Yeah.
But, you know, 16, 17, shit's still going on, and you're still going through that sort of time period.
Yeah. Well, not only, but obviously, you know, like I was saying, like, coming of age, 50s America, it's perfect for me.
Yeah. You do have a fetish for it.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like, you know, like, what would you say your most favourite film is of all time?
I don't know. I always answer Star Wars, but I don't know if it is my number one. My dad asked me this the other day, and I honestly don't know if I can pinpoint a film and say that is the best film I've ever seen. Because my issue is, right, as much as it doesn't sound like it from this episode, a lot of the stuff I watch, I do love. Like, I know there's been stuff that you suggested that I haven't, but if I enjoy something, I usually come out of it being like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're a lot less fussy with these sort of things than I am.
Yeah, so which makes it harder to have a favourite, because I can't critique every film. Like, there are probably quite a few films that I would look at now and be like, I can't see anything wrong with this film.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help me then narrow down one that I love the most, because I'm but they're all great.
But I feel like there's certain things that would come up frequently in films that you like. Like, I feel like sort of space shit, alien
like
shit.
Sci-fi films are probably my favourite genre.
Yeah.
I'm
just wondering if there's like a film that, like in a way I almost feel like Stand By Me is almost like made for me, because that's fair. It works so well. So I just
Yeah.
wondered if there was any sort of film that you feel like it's just sort of, it feels very personal to you in that it ticks all of your boxes.
Okay. No, to be fair, I maybe I have one. I absolutely love Firefly, the film.
Oh, really? Serenity?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I can never remember which way around it is. The series is Firefly.
Yeah.
The English release of the film was Serenity, right?
Yeah.
Or one. It's one of those fucking. That's ridiculous. But yes, that honestly, I love that movie.
Okay. That's an interesting choice because obviously the show is so good that I feel like the film almost suffers because of it.
I watched the film first when I was younger,
So did I.
and I loved the film then. So then I went and found out there was when I found out there was a TV series, Liam, when I was at uni, I was like, oh my good lord, this is the best day of my life. And then found a TV series that I love and was like, cool. And then watched the film again and was like, oh my god, I still love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I watched that film for the first time when I was on a plane, I think going to Canada or something, and I thought it was okay, but like sci-fi isn't necessarily my bag.
That's fair enough. See, I don't know if it is my favourite film of all time, but it is a film that I feel like, I'm not saying Serenity is the best film ever.
No.
But
for you, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. I love that genre of sci-fi specifically, like the not laser beams and crazy
like
shit.
the sort of sci-fi western almost.
Yeah, where shit's like they're flying around in a busted old ship.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. I love that stuff. I think it's cool.
Okay. Fair enough. We had some correspondence about Stand By Me.
Who emailed us?
Oh,
I've given it away because I know it's an email.
I was going to start with the tweets, actually.
Oh, I didn't even look at the tweets. Fair enough. There's multiple correspondences.
Yeah. Big Pick Reviews sent us a tweet saying, other than stating that it's one of the most perfect films ever made, nothing much to add. Sick balls, Chopper. Because I asked if anyone had any thoughts and opinions. So we had an email as well from Kat Fyson, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't love Stand By Me is wrong.
Yep, fair enough.
So, and you didn't love it, did you?
No, I said it was a really good film.
But you didn't.
This is the thing, Liam. I think your issue here is like I'm not. Again, I want to clarify. I really enjoyed this film. I just don't think it's a great film for me.
And yeah, and that's where
like I feel like because you love it so much, no matter what I'd thought about this film, I was never going to come out of this looking like people were always going to be like, oh yeah, Jack's an idiot. Like I don't think I could have come into this and looked fine against you.
Yeah, you could have loved it.
No, because I think I still would have come off worse. I'd have been like, I love this movie, and you'd have been like saying all this shit, and I'd have been like, I don't understand.
No, I think you could have watched it. You could have been like, I love it, and then you could have been like, Liam, this was a brilliant film. Thank you. This is now my
it was. Film. It was a really good film. I'm really glad that I've got to watch it.
Good.
Like again, you're making it sound like I didn't like this film, which I did. I would watch this film again.
Right. The issue I think I'm having is the whole good but not great thing.
Yeah,
like, I would understand if you said great but not perfect, but good but not great. To me, like that feels like the difference between like a 3.5 and a 4-star film.
Right. Well, it's
good,
not that,
but not great.
Because you're aware that we disagree on the rating system. So why the fuck would you assume that?
Because I just assume things.
Right. Exactly.
So what would you rate it?
4.
I mean, yeah, I said yeah, good but not great. A 4. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's where I think you're wrong.
Yeah, what do you give it? 5 by any chance?
Yeah, easy 5. Easy 5.
I assume so.
Obviously. I think if you just said 4.5, fair, I'd have accepted that. But 4.
Okay, so here's my argument then. Here's my argument for why a 4 makes sense. Right?
Okay. Yep.
Like you said, this film was made for you. You love coming of age films. You love the 50s. I couldn't give a shit about coming of age films. They're fine. I don't care. I've done my coming of age. I don't care about reliving it. 50s? Who gives a shit? 50s were boring. It's literally 60 years ago. That's not interesting. Go back to the Roman times, you got me. Go into the future, you got me. Not something that's this close to us. I don't care. So I give it a 4, Liam, because this film was not made for me. But I liked it a lot.
Next time on Nerd on Nerd.
We're doing something future-y.
So again, this is something that I feel like will be made for you.
No. I think you'll like this.
Right, I had a quick read of the plot description.
Please stop reading shit. You know the rules. We don't.
Well, I was looking it up, and I just sort of my eyes literally just wandered over it. Like,
fine.
I didn't even read it properly.
That's
just
fine.
flipped.
Don't read anymore, please.
Okay.
Because it annoys me. You prejudge stuff too easily.
Yeah, I did look at the cover and thought, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, you literally looked at the cover and went to me, I'm not going to like this. And I said, why? And you went, I looked at the cover. Which is not a fucking good start, Liam.
But, like, space stuff doesn't, like, jazz me up like it does
It's
you.
not all space stuff. This is the thing. You're assuming straight away what this thing's about.
Well, the cover is, like, 3 dudes in spacesuits with weird symbols.
But that's what I'm saying, Liam. Stop judging shit just because you've looked at a cover.
What's the thing called that we're doing?
Nameless.
Nameless. I just wanted to get the cover up just to... Yeah, 3 dudes in... Yeah, I was right. I wasn't sure if it was 3 dudes or not, but yeah, in spacesuits.
Yeah, no,
with
it's
weird
3.
symbols.
It's 3 people wearing spacesuits.
Mm-hmm. But it's not sci-fi, right?
It is sci-fi.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Mixed with other stuff. Mm-hmm. There's honestly, listeners, this is my issue. There's no fucking point me suggesting stuff on this show.
No, there is...
What am I meant to do, Liam? Because honestly, I can't give you anything because you immediately... Anime, you went in thinking you were going to hate it. Don't pretend you didn't. You did. You went in being like, I don't like anime. So you don't try and understand these things.
How did I go in being like, I don't like anime? I went in being like, I've seen a couple of really good anime films.
Yeah, films. You didn't want to watch any of the anime because you said it was all for kids. We had a conversation about it, Liam, before, not on the show, but me and you had a conversation where you were like, I don't think I'm going to like it.
Yeah, well, that panned out, didn't it?
Yeah, you didn't like it because you judged it immediately. Like, I can't give you anything.
That you've suggested that I did like.
Like what?
Struggling to think, but I'm sure there's.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't. You just immediately go, I'm not going to like it, and then you don't.
No, John dies at the end. I was well up for watching. Like, it's a shame it wasn't better, but I was very keen to.
Yeah,
watch
but I
that.
agree with you on that one. That film isn't as good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, what else have you recommended? The Santa Claus. I enjoyed that.
The Christmas films do not count.
How do they not count? I enjoyed it so much that I then watched the 2 sequels.
Yeah, exactly. They don't count because I don't love the Santa Claus as much as you do. Like, that's not me giving you a greatest movie of all time and being like, oh, Liam, I can't wait for you to watch the Santa Claus. That was me being like, we need to pick a fucking Christmas film.
I mean, it's something that you recommended, though.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
What else have you recommended, then?
I don't fucking know.
Any video games?
All I'm asking, I'm not even asking for you to like something that I recommend. That's not my issue, Liam. I'm fine with us talking about it afterwards. I'm not okay with you literally in the episode before we are talking about this. You are basically saying I don't like this.
I think it's important to give my first impressions. So if they then change, people can be like, "Oh wow."
No, it's not. Oh, okay. I see what's gone wrong. Let me just set up a new rule for Nerd on Nerd. I don't give a shit about your first impressions. Get them when you get the book. That's fine. I don't want to hear it in the episode where I tell you what we're doing. That's the new rule for Nerd on Nerd.
I'm not sure that's a rule I can stick to. No, because right. So like when I recommend you something like Snow White, I say to you, "Have you heard of it, or is there anything you're aware of?"
Yeah, and I go, no.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah, no. What are you talking about?
What?
You don't go and look up these things. You watch them or read them because our whole point of this show is that we discuss these things together. I don't want to get a second-hand opinion because you read someone or like some dude online was like, I don't like this film, and then you're like, what are his reasons? Then you do that before you've seen it.
No, you know I don't do that. I don't read what other people think. But if there's like a very brief plot synopsis, unless you're like, don't read anything, you know, I can't help it if my eyes flicker.
I don't want to have to say that every episode. Fine. From now on, every time I suggest you something, I'm going to say, please don't read anything.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I can't help but look at the cover when I'm ordering it on Amazon.
Yeah, but I just wish you wouldn't judge it from that.
You know,
it's fair enough to be like, I don't like this cover. I wouldn't have had an issue with that.
Well, there is that.
But you're
saying,
like, I'm not going to like this.
There is that saying called like where it says you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, which is what you're fucking doing.
Then I would argue, well, what's the point of having books with covers?
Not to judge the whole thing on. What are you talking about?
Look, I might like it. Okay, you know me.
No, you're not going to. You're not like listeners. Next time we do a podcast, it's going to be obvious that Liam doesn't like it.
No,
so what
I'll
I'm
read it
going
with
to
an
do is
open
I'll just talk
mind.
to you guys. You're not going to go in with an open mind.
Here's the difference, which I've said before. I will recommend stuff that I will think... I'll think about what I'm recommending, and I'll be like, I think Jack will like this.
Oh, let me just really quickly check our WhatsApp history, Liam. From when I read Nameless, which I think was the last few months I was at the flat, when I believe we had a message conversation where I said, Liam, I found something that I think you're really going to like. And I sent you a cool picture, and you said, oh, that looks interesting. You should do it on the podcast. And I said, oh, okay, I will. That's this, Liam.
Don't remember that.
So don't fuck... Yeah, so fuck right off, because that is exactly what I've done this time.
Okay,
something that I think you'd like.
If
then when I
that's the
try,
case,
you just immediately go, I'm not going to like it.
If that is the case, I might, next episode, turn around and go, you know what, Jack, my first impressions were very wrong. This is brilliant.
No, you're going to have to say your second impressions, because these are your second impressions, Liam. Your first impressions were when we had a fucking conversation about it, and I sent you pictures.
That. That's true, though. I don't remember it, but that's true. Look, I might like it, okay? But from the cover, I'm not sold. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever.
But I'll read it.
Listeners, please let me know how you felt about this. I will also check the Twitter account to get these things.
Yeah,
if you haven't read it, go read it before our next episode.
Yeah, so and one of the things that bothers me, which isn't like a issue against the story or anything itself, but I hate hardcover comics. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You can be angry about hardcover comics, but you can't use it against the story.
No. It's just going to be really fucking cumbersome to read because hardcovers don't, work well for comics, I don't think. You can't just flick through a hardcover, can you? The covers get in the way.
No, I managed to do it.
But it's fine, it's fine. It might be good.
You're trying so hard now.
To what?
I've given up, mate. Don't worry about it.
That's fine, yeah.
You're trying so hard to retract because I'm so annoyed that you've prejudged this. You're trying so hard to redeem it, and I'm just not okay.
It's fine, honestly, Jack.
Sure.
The thing is, if I do read this now and absolutely hate it, you look right. So I'm in a lose-lose situation, really.
No. If you come with reasonable arguments for why you hate it, that's fine. If your argument is, I read the cover and I hate it, I'm not going to be okay.
Well, I've never given you a reason like that for not liking something.
No, and I hope you fucking don't start now.
No, I wouldn't dream of it, Jack.
Good.
This has been Nerd on Nerd, where we always...
fall out, argue.
Yeah. But, here's the thing. We listen. Even when the other person is being very wrong, and it happens with, frequency, we still listen, and then we get on with our lives.
Yeah, we also don't want to kill each other. We're actually very good friends.
Yeah. It might not sound like it, but that's fine.
Oh, if you want to get in contact with us...
How would they do that?
They can tweet us, Liam, at nerdonnerd.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah.
Where could they go if they want to see us, Liam?
Oh, well, things have changed, and we got to thank Tom for pointing this out. You no longer have to faff around typing Nerd on Nerd, it's called a flashlight, or fleshlight. If you just type in Nerd on Nerd, all one word, into YouTube, we pop up.
Way, we've made it, guys.
So that's progress. If we can get to, I think it's 20 subscribers, we can have our own, custom URL. So, eight subscribers away, if you wouldn't mind. That would help. They could also leave us a nice little review on iTunes, couldn't they?
Yes, you could. That would be super helpful.
If they were going to do that, what should they do?
I mean, they should give us 5 stars.
5 stars? I think we've earned it.
I think so.
Yeah, we've done this for a year now. I mean, that's worth 5 stars alone.
Yeah. I mean, for real listeners, just rate us anything, please, dear God.
No. Ooh, no.
Anything above 3.
4 or 5. Yeah. Don't be rating us low.
Sorry.
That's mean.
Please don't give us 1s.
That would be really mean. And the thing is, if you rate the show highly, I believe it will help us in some way.
Yeah,
when I listen
does.
to other podcasts, when I listen to other podcasts, I was like, oh, if you give us high ratings on iTunes, it helps us carry on the show. So I guess it looks good for advertisements or something.
Yeah, sure. Who knows, Liam? We don't understand podcasting.
No, that's obvious. You could also follow us on Facebook.
Yep, we've got a page.
Nerd on Nerd.
Yep.
Perfect. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, there's handy links to all these things, apart from the email address, but we've told you that, so it's fine. So you could just click on us and find us on social medias, and we're on the internet. It's fine. Find us, Nerd on Nerd. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're not everywhere.
We're not everywhere, but we're some places at least.
Bye.
How good is that song?
It's very good.
Correct. Bye.